Pale light spreads across the white curtain. Steam from the cup curls toward the ceiling. A small saucer rests beside the open page. The room holds still while afternoon arrives. Curtain edges catch a soft gold breeze. Bowl of green sits warm on the table. Soft pages wait open near the window. A clock on the shelf moves quietly forward. Linen sleeves drift past the worn bowl. Dust motes float through the slanting light. Wooden floor cools beneath bare feet. A folded note rests under the lamp. Light traces the rim of a small spoon. Outside trees lean into early summer. Crickets begin their tentative tuning. A kettle hums low in the next room. Soft cardigan slips off one's shoulder. A bookmark slides between two chapters. Pale steam blurs the bright window glass. Shadows of leaves stretch across the wood. Hold the warmth between both palms. Read until the light turns amber. Quiet rooms keep their own slow time. Stay until the breeze comes through. A vase of white flowers leans toward light. Pages turn with the paper. Whispers sound outside. A sparrow tests the high branch. A small clock ticks beside the saucer. Light dabbles through the rads and blindfolded laundry waits on the low chair. A photograph rests against the wall. The afternoon stretches out in pale gold. Cloth napkin lies near the small spoon. A wooden tray holds a single sweet. Pages flutter when the breeze comes through. The room breathes slowly with the wind. Outside, leaves catch the slanting sun. A bicycle bell rings beyond the gate. Tea cools in the bowl by degrees. A blanket folds across the low couch. A small lamp glows beside the book's curtain. Billows once and settles down. Steam thins to a pale rising line. Cushions hold the shape of an afternoon. Hold the warmth between both palms. Read until the light turns amber. Quiet rooms keep their own slow time. Stay until the breeze comes through. Pale light spreads across the white curtain. A small saucer rests beside the page. The room holds still as afternoon settles. Steam curls slowly toward the ceiling beam. White drape lifts beside the quiet window. May brightness rests along wooden floorboards. A soft breeze touches the small book. Steam rises slowly from the green cup. Linen cloth moves with a small breath. The saucer stays still near one page. Sun bends across the low table edge. Thin shade slips under the chair. The window frame holds early summer calm. A paperback lies open by Matcha. The cardigan hangs over a low chair. Quiet air moves through the room. Curtain folds sway and settle again. The spoon waits beside the warm bowl. Afternoon glow gathers beside the shelf. A page corner trembles in wind. The cup leaves heat on the table. Soft shadow collects beneath the saucer. Light fabric glows against clear glass. A small clock moves without sound. Let the room breathe with afternoon. The pale folds carry the silence. Wind slips across the pale drape. Stillness stays beside one open curtain rises above the sill. A narrow beam reaches the book cover. Steam fades near the ceiling beam. The room keeps its slow shape. Chair shade lengthens across the floor. The bowl sits green in muted glow. Paper edges lift and fall together. The draft leaves no clear trace. White cloth brushes the wooden frame. A soft fold covers half the glass. The saucer rim catches thin sunlight. A bookmark waits between still pages. Floorboards hold a pale square of sun. Curtain shade moves across the table. Quiet spoon reflects the ceiling. Matcha cools beside the paperback cover. Air enters lightly through the window. The sheer answers with one small wave. Soft daylight leans over the bowl. A line of shade crosses paper. The cardigan sleeve rests near the cushion. A folded napkin lies beside the tray. The room listens to moving air. Steam becomes a faint white thread. Light brightness thins along the linen. The book remains open and quiet. Breeze gathers around the window latch. The bowl cools in the shade. Let the cup cool in silence. Let the page wait for evening. Wind slips across the pale drape. Stillness stays beside one open page. White curtain settles against the window. Pale glow fades from wooden boards. The book keeps its quiet place. Green steam disappears into still air. Green steam rises above the quiet table. Paperback pages rest beside the warm cup. Soft light reaches across the open lines. A slow breeze moves the paper edge. Thin steam curls near the window glass. The bookmark waits between two chapters quietly. Page corners lift with a dry sound. The bowl stays warm beside the sleeve. A paper whisper fills the still room. White curtains sway beside the afternoon light. The spoon rests near the cooling matcha. Wooden shelves hold scattered pocket novels. Steam fades slowly into pale brightness above. Several loose pages bend with the draft. A small note slips under the paperback. Soft shadows gather beneath the round table. The page turns with a gentle flutter. Late sunlight touches the ceramic cup. Lightly, a faded cover leans beside the tray. The room stays quiet through turning pages. Pages drift softly through quiet afternoon. Steam circles slowly above the green bowl. Paper sounds follow the moving breeze. One more chapter waits beside the window. A pale line marks the book margin. The curtain moves once near the shelf. Steam thins above the warm green surface. A paperback settles open on the table. The paper edges brush against each other. A low breeze reaches through narrow curtains. Small letters blur beside the rising steam. The saucer catches a soft white glow. The open story waits beside natural warmth. Page sounds echo across the wooden floor. A folded cardigan rests near the chair. Late air cools the room little slowly. Soft paper bends beneath quiet afternoon light. Steam traces upward through through the still brightness. The spoon reflects part of the ceiling. The room listens to fluttering pages quietly. One chapter ends beside the cooling bowl. Curtain shadows pass over several sentences gently. A small lamp waits beside stacked books. The tray holds a wrapped sugar sweet. Steam fades near the pale ceiling beam. The paperback spine rests against one cushion. A quiet page slips toward the table outside. Leaves move beyond bright window glass. The paper's sound becomes softer toward evening. A pale breeze enters beside the curtains. The bowl cools near the open chapter. Wooden floorboards hold the fading sunlight quietly. Pages drift softly through quiet afternoon. Steam circles slowly above the green bowl. Paper sounds follow the moving breeze. One more chapter waits beside the window. Green steam disappears into the quiet room. Several pages rest beneath soft evening light. The curtain settles beside the open book. The final paper whisper fades slowly away. A small saucer rests beside the paperback. Soft steam rises from the green latte. The spoon taps once against the cup. Light settles across the wooden table. Several pages lean beneath quiet afternoon brightness. The saucer rim catches a pale reflection. A silver spoon turns within a matcha. Thin curtains move beside the open window. Paperback corners soften from repeating tonight. A low sound rings from the spoon. The bowl stays warm beside folded sleeves. Floor shadows stretch toward the narrow shelf. A paper cover rests near the tray. Steam drifts slowly above the ceramic surface. The spoon touches the cup once lightly. White light fills the still room gently. A bookmark waits between worn chapters quietly. The saucer holds several drops near matcha. A soft breeze reaches the open paperback pages. A quiet chair faces the bright window. Let the spoon ring through silence softly. Let the saucer hold the fading warmth. Paperback pages wait beside green matcha. Afternoon stays quiet around the table. The spoon rests beside the empty saucer. Steam curls upward near the window frame. A pale line crosses the paperback spine. The room holds one gentle page sound. A ceramic cup leaves warmth on wood. Paperback pages bend beneath moving air lightly. The spoon reflects part of the ceiling. Curtain shadows move across the low chair. A small sound rises from the saucer. Steam fades above the green bowl slowly. The paperback remains open near the sleeve. Late brightness reaches the floorboards quietly afterward. The spoon circles once through warm matcha. A narrow beam touches the paper edge. The saucer waits beneath the quiet cup. One page lifts with the passing breeze. A folded cardigan rests near the paperback. Steam thins beneath pale ceiling lights. Softly the spoon lies across the ceramic dish. A calm room surrounds the reading table. paperback lines blur beside the warm bowl. A soft tapping sound fades near matcha. Curtain folds sway against bright afternoon glass. Wooden boards cool beneath the quiet chair. The saucer catches several pale drops quietly. Steam disappears beside the turning page slowly. A silver spoon rests near folded paper. The room keeps its slow afternoon stillness. Let the spoon ring through silence softly. Let the saucer hold the fading warmth. Paperback pages wait beside green matcha. Afternoon stays quiet around the table. A paperback rests beside the quiet saucer. Steam fades above the cooling green latte. Spoon stays still upon the table. Curtains settle near the pale window light. A quiet page turns beside the green bowl. Soft shadows gather along the book edge. Steam rises slowly through pale afternoon brightness. The room holds one paper whisper gently. A narrow shade crosses the open paperback. The spoon rests beside the cooling matcha quietly. Curtain light touches several printed lines softly. A dry page sound fills the stillness. The paperback cover leans against the tray. Steam curls upward near the pale window. A soft flutter passes through several chapters. Chair shadows stretch across the wooden floor. A page lifts with the moving breeze. The bowl leaves warmth upon the table. Thin shadows rest beneath the small saucer. A quiet paper sound fades slowly afterward. Curtain sways beside the reading chair. Late brightness reaches the paperback spine quietly. Steam thins above the green latte slowly. One page falls back with soft sound. Listen close beside the turning paper. Watch the shadows move across quiet pages. Soft page whispers follow fading daylight. Green steam drifts through the still room. The spoon reflects part of the ceiling lightly. A folded note rests beneath the paperback. Shadows gather near the wooden shelf slowly. Steam disappears into pale afternoon air quietly. Several printed lines blur near the window. A page corner bends beneath the breeze. The saucer catches a dim line softly. Quiet air moves through curtain folds gently. The room darkens along the floorboard slowly. A paper sound rises near the table. Steam curls once above the warm bowl. A cardigan rests across the low chair. Pale shadows drift across several open chapters. The paperback waits beside the green latte. One quiet flutter breaks the afternoon stillness. Curtain light settles upon the wooden tray. The spoon taps softly against ceramic side. Steam fades beneath the ceiling beam slowly. A page turns near the pale window. The room keeps its gentle evening shape. A small shadow reaches across the saucer. Paperback pages move with the passing breeze. Steam rises above the cooling green surface. The chair remains beside the reading table. Late sunlight softens along the printed paper. The curtain settles near the quiet shelf. A final page sound fills the room. Warm matcha cools beside folded folded sleeves quietly. Listen close beside the turning paper. Watch the shadows move across the quiet pages. Soft page whispers follow fading daylight. Green steam drifts through the still room. The paperback rests beneath the dim light. Steam fades above the quiet green bowl. Soft shadows cover the wooden table slowly. One paper whisper disappears into evening. Lit sunlight falls across the wooden floor. A pale beam reaches toward the quiet chair. Steam rises above the green latte slowly. The paperback rests beside the small saucer. Long shadows stretch beneath the reading table. The curtain moves within the warm afternoon. The spoon lies still beside the bowl. Soft brightness touches the paperback cover lightly. A narrow line crosses several floorboards quietly. Steam fades near the pale window glass. The chair shadow leans toward the bookshelf. One page turns with a paper sound. Afternoon light slants across the woven cushion. The saucer catches a thin white reflection. A soft breeze enters through loose curtains. Warm matcha cools beside the open chapter. The floor glows beneath the quiet sunlight. A paperback spine rests near folded sleeves. Steam curls upward through the still room. Long shade gathers beneath the low shelf. Shadows cross the wooden floor. Soft west sunlight fills the quiet room. Green steam fades beside the open book. The spoon reflects part of the bright window. A pale square rests near the chair. Lights curtain folds drift through the afternoon air. The bowl leaves warmth upon the wood. A long beam reaches across the paperback. Steam rises near the ceiling beam quietly. Soft shadows cover half the small table. One bookmark waits between several chapters gently. Late brightness settles near the low cushion. The saucer remains beside the cooling latte. A paper whisper passes through the stillness. The curtain sways beside the narrow shelf. The wooden floor holds fading afternoon warmth quietly. Steam becomes thin above the green surface. A page corner lifts beneath the breeze. Shadows gather around the reading chair slowly. A pale line touches the ceramic bowl. The paperback lies open near the window. Soft light reaches toward the folded cardigan. Quiet air moves through curtain folds lightly. The spoon rests beside the quiet saucer. Steam drifts slowly into dim afternoon brightness. A long shadow crosses the wooden boards. One chapter ends beside the green latte. The room darkens along the western sunlight slowly. Curtain shade settles across the low table. A paperback waits beneath the pale glow. Steam fades quietly into evening air. Afterward, watch the light move toward evening slowly. Watch the shadows cross the wooden floor. Soft west sunlight fills the quiet beside the fading brightness. Steam disappears above the cooling matcha quietly. A quiet paperback remains near the saucer. Late sunlight falls across the wooden floor. A pale beam reaches toward the quiet chair. Steam rises above the green latte slowly. The paperback rests beside the small saucer. Long shadows stretch beneath the reading table. The curtain moves within the warm afternoon. A spoon lies still beside the bowl. Soft brightness touches the paperback cover lightly. A narrow line crosses several floorboards quietly. Steam fades near the pale window glass. The chair shadow leans toward the bookshelf. One page turns with a paper sound. Afternoon light slants across the woven cushion. The saucer catches a thin white reflection. A soft breeze enters through loose curtains. Warm matcha cools beside the open chapter. The floor glows beneath the quiet sunlight. A paperback spine rests near folded sleeves. Steam curls upward through the still room. Long shade gathers beneath the low shelf. Watch the light move toward evening slowly. Watch the shadows cross the wooden floor. Soft west sunlight fills the quiet room. Green steam fades beside the open book. The spoon reflects part of the bright window. A pale square rests near the chair legs. Curtain folds drift through the afternoon air. The bowl leaves warmth upon the wood. A long beam reaches across the paperback. Steam rises near the ceiling beam quietly. Soft shadows cover half the small table. One bookmark waits between subtle chapters gently. Light bright and settles near the low cushion. The saucer remains beside the cooling latte. A paper whisper passes through the stillness. The curtain sways beside the narrow shelf. The wooden floor holds fading afternoon warmth quietly. Steam becomes thin above the green surface. A page corner lifts beneath the breeze. Shadows gather around the reading chair slowly. A pale line touches the ceramic bowl. The paperback lies open near the window. Soft light reaches toward the folded cardigan. Quiet air moves through curtain folds lightly. The spoon rests beside the quiet saucer. Steam drifts slowly into dim afternoon brightness. A long shadow crosses the wooden boards. One chapter ends beside the green latte. The room darkens along the western sunlight slowly. Curtain shade settles across the low table. A paperback waits beneath the pale glow. Steam fades quietly into evening air. Afterward, watch the light move toward evening slowly. Watch the shadows cross the wooden floor. Soft west sunlight fills the quiet room. Green steam fades beside the open book. Long shadows rest across the wooden floor. The curtain settles beside the fading brightness. Steam disappears disappears above the cooling matcha quietly. A quiet paperback remains near the saucer. The paperback spine rests upon the cushion. Soft steam rises from the quiet matcha. Late sunlight reaches the wooden floorboard slowly. The room stays calm beside the window. The cushion holds the shape of reading. A green bowl waits beside the paperback. Curtain light moves across the low chair. One page lifts with the passing breeze. Steam curls upward near the pale ceiling. The spoon rests beside the small saucer. A folded cardigan hangs near the shelf. Quiet air fills the afternoon room gently. The paperback leans against the woven cushion. Soft shadows gather beneath the reading chair. Warm matcha cools beside the open chapter. Curtain folds sway beside bright window glass. A narrow beam touches the book spine. Steam fades slowly into pale afternoon brightness. The saucer catches a dim white line. One paper sound breaks the quiet stillness. Leave the book beside the cushion softly. Leave the room inside the afternoon silence. Paperback spines rest through quiet daylight. Green steam drifts near the reading chair. Presses beneath the paperback weight. A small bookmark waits between worn chapters. Steam rises above the green latte quietly. Soft light settles across the low table. A quiet chair faces the pale window. The spoon reflects part of the ceiling. Paperback pages rest against the cushion edge. Curtain shadows move across wooden boards slowly. Late brightness fades beside the reading corner. The bowl leaves warmth upon the saucer. A soft breeze enters through narrow curtains. One chapter ends near the folded sleeve. The paperback spine catches the evening glow. Steam becomes thin above the quiet bowl. A paper whisper passes through the still room. The cushion rests beside the wooden chair. Soft shadows stretch across the paperback cover. The curtain sways once beside the shelf. Warm matcha cools near the woven cushion. A spoon lies still upon the tray. The room darkens along the floorboard slowly. A pale line crosses the reading chair. Steam drifts quietly toward the ceiling beam. Paperback edges soften beneath the fading light. The cushion holds the quiet afternoon shape. Curtain folds settle beside the open window. A green bowl rests near the paperback. Soft air moves through the silent room. Leave the book beside the cushion softly. Leave the room inside the afternoon silence. Paperback spines rest through quiet daylight. Green steam drifts near the reading chair. The paperback remains upon the quiet cushion. Steam fades above the cooling green latte. Curtains rest beside the pale evening brightness. The room keeps its slow and gentle silence. A wooden tray rests beside the paperback. Soft lamplight fills the quiet room. One bookmark waits between several chapters. Gently steam rises above the warm green latte. The lamp glows near the reading chair. Softly a small tray holds the ceramic bowl. Curtain folds move beside the pale window. The bookmark slips beneath printed lines quietly. Steam curls upward through dim evening brightness. The spoon rests beside the round saucer. A paperback lies open near the cushion. Soft shadows gather around the wooden tray. The bookmark stays within the worn paperback. Lamp glow touches the edge of paper. A green bowl cools beside folded sleeves. Quiet air moves through curtain folds lightly. The tray holds one wrapped sugar sweet. Steam fades near the ceiling beam slowly. A pale line crosses the reading table. The bookmark rests beside several chapters softly. Leave the lamp beside the quiet pages. Leave the bookmark where the chapter pauses. Tray and bowl remain through evening silence. Soft light settles across the reading room. The lamp reflects against the ceramic surface lightly. A paperback spine leans near the tray. Steam drifts slowly above the green matcha curtain. Shadows stretch across the wooden floor. A thin bookmark marks the unfinished chapter quietly. The spoon lies still beside the saucer. Warm light reaches the paperback cover slowly. The room stays calm through fading daylight. The tray remains near the woven cushion. Steam rises beside the dim lamp glow. A page corner lifts beneath quiet air. Soft brightness settles across folded fabric gently. The bookmark waits inside the open paperback. Lamp shadows move across the low shelf. A green bowl rests upon the wooden tray. Curtain light softens near the reading chair. Steam becomes thin above the ceramic bowl. A paperback cover catches pale evening light. The spoon reflects part of the quiet room. Soft air enters beside the narrow window. The tray holds warmth from the green latte. Lamp glow rests along the wooden boards. A bookmark lies beneath several printed lines. Curtain folds settle near the pale glass. The room darkens beside the quiet paperback. Slowly steam fades softly into evening air. Afterward, the lamp stays warm beside the tray. A bookmark waits within the final chapter. Leave the lamp beside the quiet pages. Leave the bookmark where the chapter pauses. Tray and bowl remain through evening silence. Soft light settles across the reading room. A wooden tray rests beside the lamp. Steam disappears above the cooling green latte. The bookmark stays within the open paperback. Curtains settle through the quiet evening room. A slow swirl moves across the green surface. The spoon circles inside the quiet bowl. Soft steam rises through pale afternoon brightness. The paperback rests beside the wooden tray. The matcha turns beneath the silver spoon. Small rings spread across the ceramic bowl. curtain light touches the moving surface gently. A page waits open near the window. Steam curls upward from the stirred green latte. The spoon moves once beside the bowl edge. A soft sound fills the quiet table. A brightness rests upon the paperback cover. The surface shifts beneath the slow stirring motion. A pale reflection turns across the matcha. The spoon taps lightly against ceramic sides. Curtain folds sway beside the reading chair. A small whirl forms near the spoon quietly. Steam fades above the warm green bowl. The paperback spine leans near folded sleeves. Soft shadows gather along the wooden floor. Stir the green surface slowly tonight. Watch the quiet circles fade outward. Steam drifts above the moving matcha. The room listens beside the paperback pages. Beside the cooling latte afterwards. Several rings remain upon the green surface. A bookmark waits within the open chapter. Soft air enters through pale curtains lightly. The bowl reflects part of the ceiling softly. Steam rises through dim evening brightness quietly. A slow swirl crosses the green matcha. The tray remains beside the reading chair. One quiet tap sounds from the spoon. The surface settles beneath the fading motion. A paperback lies open near the cushion. Curtain shadows move across the wooden board. Steam becomes thin above the ceramic bowl. The spoon circles once through pale matcha. The quiet bowl edge. A page corner lifts with the breeze. The green surface darkens beside the window slowly. Steam drifts near the ceiling beam quietly. The spoon reflects the pale lamp glow. A paperback rests upon the low table. Soft circles spread across the warm matcha. The tray holds the quiet ceramic bowl. Curtain folds settle beside evening light gently. One chapter ends near the woven cushion. Stirring slows within the green latte quietly. Steam fades into the still room softly. The spoon lies across the small saucer. A paperback waits beside the quiet bowl. Stir the green surface slowly tonight. Watch the quiet circles fade outward. Steam drifts above the moving matcha. The room listens beside the paperback pages. The green surface settles into stillness slowly. Steam disappears above the quiet ceramic bowl. The spoon rests beside the cooling matcha. Curtains move softly near the open book. Pale foam circles across the green matcha. Soft light rests upon the ceramic bowl. A silver spoon moves through the quiet surface. The paperback lies beside the wooden tray. Thin spirals spread beneath the pale reflection. Steam rises through the dim afternoon room. The spoon turns once beside the bowl edge. Curtain folds drift near the open window. A quiet pattern forms upon the matcha. Soft brightness touches the moving foam lightly. The saucer waits beneath the warm bowl. One page rests open beside the sleeve. charcoal steam curls upward near the ceiling beam. A spoon reflects the quiet lamp glow. Shadows settle across the reading table slowly. Several rings widen through the warm surface. The paperback cover catches fading afternoon light. Curtain shading moves across the wooden floorboards. A soft breeze enters through narrow curtains. Watch the pale spirals drift slowly outward. Watch the foam turn beneath soft light. Green circles move across quiet matcha. Steam rises through the silent reading room. The spoon rests beside the cooling latte. Afterward, a faint spiral remains upon the surface. Soft lamp glow touches the ceramic edge. The paperback spine leans near the cushion. Steam fades slowly into pale evening brightness. The foam shifts beneath the silver spoon. A page corner lifts with moving air. Curtain folds sway beside the quiet shelf. A thin reflection crosses the green surface. The bowl leaves warmth upon the tray. Soft circles gather near the matcha center. One chapter waits beside the low chair. The pale foam darkens beneath evening light. Slowly steam drifts through the still room quietly. A spoon lies across the small saucer. The paperback remains open near folded sleeves. Small spirals spread toward the bowl edge. The curtain moves beside the pale window. A soft shadow crosses several printed lines. Warm matcha cools through the quiet afternoon. The foam pattern softens beside the reflection. Steam becomes thin above the ceramic bowl. The spoon circles once through pale matcha. A wooden tray rests near the paperback. Late brightness fades across the green surface slowly. Curtain shadows settle beside the reading chair. A quiet spiral remains within the matcha. Soft air moves through the evening room. Watch the pale spirals drift slowly outward. Watch the foam turn beneath soft light. Green circles move across quiet matcha. Steam rises through the silent reading room. The pale foam settles into quiet stillness. Steam disappears above the cooling green latte. The spoon rests beside the ceramic saucer. Curtains move softly near the open paperback. The bowl sits empty beside the paperback. Soft evening light fills the quiet room. A spoon rests near the pale saucer. Curtains move slowly beside the window. Steam has faded from the green matcha. The paperback remains open near the cushion. Long shadows stretch across the wooden floor. A quiet hush settles through the room. The empty bowl reflects the dim lamp softly. One bookmark waits within the final chapter. Curtain folds drift through evening air lightly. The chair stays still beside the table. A pale line crosses the ceramic surface. The spoon catches part of the ceiling. Soft darkness gathers near the bookshelf quietly. Several pages rest beneath fading brightness afterward. The room grows calm beside the paperback. An empty bowl cools upon a tray. Curtain shadows cover half the wooden floor. A quiet page turns with little sound. Let the empty bowl hold silence softly. Let the evening stay within this room. Long hush settles beside the paperback. Soft curtains move through fading daylight slowly. The spoon lies still beside the saucer. A folded cardigan rests near the chair. Late brightness fades across the reading table. Quiet air moves through narrow curtains gently. The paperback spine leans toward the cushion. A dim lamp glows beside several pages. The bowl reflects pale evening colors quietly. Soft shadows gather beneath the wooden shelf. One chapter ends beside the quiet tray. Curtain folds settle near the pale window. The room listens to the evening hush. A soft breeze touches the paperback cover. The empty bowl rests within fading light softly. Several printed lines blur near the margin. A spoon reflects the dim reading lamp. Long shadows stretch across the floorboards quietly. The paperback remains beside folded sleeves tonight. Curtain shade moves across the low table. The bowl stays cool beneath the evening brightness. A quiet hush fills the still room. A pale lamp glows near the ceramic surface. The spoon rests upon the quiet saucer. Soft darkness reaches the reading chair slowly. One bookmark waits between closing chapters gently. The room darkens beside the empty bowl gradually. Curtains drift near the open paperback quietly. A final page sound fades into silence. Evening air settles through the wooden room. Let the empty bowl hold silence softly. Let the evening stay within this room. Long hush settles beside the paperback. Soft curtains move through fading daylight slowly. The empty bowl rests beside the paperback. Soft darkness fills the quiet evening room. Curtains settle near the pale window light. A final page, sound fades into silence. Evening air settles through the wooden room. A small lamp glows beside the paperback. Soft dusk light fades beyond the curtains. The final page waits beneath quiet hands. Steam has vanished from the empty bowl. The lamp reflects upon the ceramic saucer. A bookmark rests near the closing chapter. Curtain folds drift through evening air slowly. The room stays still beside the table. One page turns with a gentle paper sound. The paperback spine leans near the cushion. Dim light gathers across the wooden floorboards. A spoon rests quietly beside the tray. The final lines soften beneath warm lamp glow. Curtain shadows move along the pale wall. The bowl remains cool beside the paperback. Evening silence fills the narrow room softly. A quiet chapter nears the final sentence. Soft darkness settles near near the bookshelf slowly. The lamp stays warm beside folded sleeves. One page bends beneath the fading breeze. Close the final page beside Dusk softly. Leave the lamp glowing through quiet evening. Paperback stories fade into warm silence. Curtains drift beside the dim window light. The paperback cover rests upon the cushion. A pale reflection touches the ceramic bowl. Curtain folds sway near the evening glass. The room listens to the fading pages. The final chapter waits beside the lamp. A spoon reflects the dim ceiling softly. Quiet shadows gather beneath the reading chair. The tray remains near the wooden table. One bookmark slips from the closing paperback quietly. The lamp glow reaches across printed lines. Curtain shade covers part of the floorboards. A soft hush settles beside the room. Page lifts within quiet air softly. Dim brightness fades around the open chapter. The bowl rests empty beside the saucer. Curtains move near the narrow window gently. A paperback closes beside the woven cushion. The lamp remains warm through evening silence. Soft darkness reaches across the wooden boards. A spoon lies still beside the tray. The room grows dim around the quiet paperback. Curtain folds settle near the pale glass. One final page sound fades slowly. Afterward the lamp glows beside the ceramic bowl. A closing chapter rests beneath evening light softly. The bookmark waits beside the finished story. Curtain shadows gather across the reading table. Quiet air moves through the darkening room. Close the final page beside Dusk softly. Leave the lamp glowing through quiet evening. Paperback stories fade into warm silence. Curtains drift beside the dim window light. The lamp glows beside the closed paperback. Soft darkness fills the quiet evening room. The empty bowl rests near the saucer. Curtains settle after the final page.